You fear change because your mind is afraid of the unknown. Zen story, the monk carrying the candle. I need to figure everything out before I can relax. I need certainty before I can move forward. I need to know exactly where life is going. And slowly, what begins as a search for peace quietly becomes fear of uncertainty. Many humans believe they are searching for truth, but often they are searching for psychological safety. Imagine this. Long ago, in a quiet Zen monastery hidden deep within the mountains, there lived a young monk obsessed with enlightenment. He woke before sunrise every morning, meditated for hours, read endlessly, memorized teachings, compared himself constantly with the older monks. Every day, he asked himself silently, "How close am I now? How much progress have I made? When will I finally become enlightened?" At first, his discipline looked admirable, but slowly, his spiritual search became restless, heavy, anxious. The more he searched for peace, the less peaceful he became. And maybe this feels painfully familiar. Some people endlessly consume self-help content, hoping one more insight will finally remove uncertainty from life. Some obsess over productivity, not because they love growth, but because stillness makes them anxious. Some constantly overthink relationships, careers, the future, because the mind desperately wants guarantees before relaxing. One evening, after noticing the young monk's inner restlessness, the old Zen master quietly handed him a candle, then softly said, "Walk through the mountain path tonight." The monk bowed respectfully and obeyed. Night had already fallen across the mountains. Cold wind moved through the pine trees. The narrow stone path twisted through forests and cliffs beneath the dark sky. The candle flickered softly in the monk's hand as he walked carefully through the darkness. At first, the small flame gave him comfort, certainty, control. As long as the candle remained lit, he felt safe. But suddenly, strong mountain wind rushed through the valley, and the flame disappeared instantly. Darkness swallowed everything. The monk froze in panic. His breathing became rapid. The forest suddenly felt terrifying. Every sound became danger. The wind, the trees, the distant movement of water. His mind immediately began imagining catastrophe. What if I fall? What if wild animals are nearby? What if I never find the path again? And perhaps this is exactly what happens inside modern human life. People lose a relationship and panic because certainty disappears. They lose a job and suddenly feel psychologically lost. Plans fail, identity changes, life becomes unpredictable, and the mind immediately spirals into fear. Not always because reality is dangerous, but because uncertainty feels unbearable. The young monk stood there trembling in the darkness for a long time, unable to move, unable to trust himself without the candle. But eventually, something unexpected began happening. His eyes slowly adjusted. Moonlight softly appeared between the trees. The sound of flowing water helped him recognize the direction of the path. The cold wind against his skin guided his awareness. And gradually, he realized something profound. The path had never disappeared. Only the candle had. And slowly, the monk continued walking through the mountains peacefully, not because certainty returned, but because dependence began dissolving. When he finally returned to the monastery near dawn, the old master looked at him quietly and asked, "What frightened you more? The darkness, or losing what made you feel certain?" And in that moment, The monk finally understood his suffering. He was never truly searching for enlightenment. He was searching for psychological security. And maybe many humans are doing the same thing right now. Some endlessly scroll through their phones to escape uncertainty. Some become obsessed with food. Some lose themselves in sports. Some constantly watch movies or shows. Some drown themselves in political arguments. Some endlessly chase productivity hacks. Some keep buying things they never truly needed, not for awakening, but to escape fear. The mind says, if I learn enough, if I prepare enough, if I become perfect enough, then I will finally feel safe. But life rarely offers permanent certainty. Relationships change, plans collapse, people leave, bodies age. The future remains unknown, no matter how intelligent we become. And perhaps real peace begins not when uncertainty disappears, but when the mind stops demanding complete control before allowing itself to live. This does not mean becoming careless or abandoning wisdom. The candle itself was not the problem. Dependence on the candle was. And slowly, inner freedom grows when humans realize they can still walk through uncertainty without collapsing psychologically. Sometimes healing begins very quietly. Walking alone beneath trees without constantly checking your phone. Sitting silently for a few minutes without needing answers immediately. Listening to old soft music, sitting beneath moonlight and seeing its calmness. Playing with children and dissolve in that moment. Allowing emotions to settle naturally. Because awareness grows strongest when the mind learns it can survive without clinging to constant certainty. The monk believed the candle was guiding him, but eventually he discovered something deeper. The path was always there, even in darkness. And maybe life has not become unbearable because uncertainty exists. Maybe the mind simply became too dependent on things that made it feel temporarily certain. Stop scrolling. Start living.